Hey, what's going on, guys? It's LuceyGoosey or Kyle, and welcome to my UPL draft analysis, season 2 for the UPL. If you guys didn't know, we're actually the champions of season 1 of the UPL. If you want to go check out the UPL season 1, I'm going to make a playlist and leave a playlist link in the description. You can check out all of them. We had a really good team. We had a decent season. We went like win-loss the whole season. Finished 6-5 on the season. I think we had 1 week where we had 2 weeks in a row where we won, and then 2 weeks in a row where we lost, or something like that. But yeah, we went 6-5 on the season, which was pretty cool. And then we made playoffs barely by 1 differential point. We beat the undefeated, or we beat Pokemaster Mike in the first round of the playoffs, and we beat the undefeated Heyyy. Then we went to the finals and we won, so it's pretty cool. And yeah, we're back here for season 2. Actually, this season started maybe 2 days or 1 day after the finals, but it's been, I think, almost a month, maybe like 3 weeks since I posted that finals. I don't know, I have a bad sense of time. Anyways, I've been really busy and I've been trying to get a time to do this. I've actually had this this whole layout and everything set up for since after the finals, when I recorded all those videos, posted them all, and I know it's been a while since I posted a video, so I figured I'd get this done. I'm going to record this, and then I am thinking about doing a Season 1 recap. I was going to do that, but then I kind of fell off of it, so I probably won't end up doing it. But this is going to be my draft analysis for Season 2. You can see my whole team up there at the top, and I'm just going to go through each of my picks. It's going to be pretty quick, why I chose them and everything. So I think I picked 2nd overall, which is something I was like, oh, I need to get something really good. I really wanted to use Bulu, though. My whole draft plan before I figured out what position I was to use Bulu. And Tapu Bulu, obviously, I'm not going to pick that 2nd overall, but I wanted a Tapu. I've used Tapu Koko before in 2 different leagues, so I didn't really want Tapu Koko. Obviously, Lele's banned, so I went with Finny. I think it's a really good, solid pick. Usually it revolves around having that leftovers because it doesn't have reliable recovery, which is kind of weird. Like, Tapu Koko gets Roost. I don't think Bulu gets reliable recovery. I don't think he gets synthesis, but he gets Leech Seed. Lele obviously doesn't really need it because it's so powerful. But like, Tapu Fini should have some sort of recovery. I don't know, maybe like Wish or something. That would make it really good. But Tapu Fini, really good Pokemon, super great. You can see its HP right there. Base 85 speed, not bad. Obviously, the defense is Spadef is what it's really known for, but 95 attack, special attack, really good on it. Tapu Fini doesn't get the greatest coverage. It gets, you know, the Fairy, the Water, obviously gets its dual stab. It doesn't get Grass Knot. It gets a couple of other things. It gets Shadow Ball. Nature's Madness is just really nice. And yeah, it can taunt things Toxic. Obviously, I'm not going to be using Toxic that much because with Misty Surge 5 turns, you can't status things with like Toxic or Burn or anything like that. So part of that helps out my team, and actually part of it hurts my team. So I'll show you that as well. But the next pick, I wanted something that could balance out with Tapu Fini, and I was looking at the tier 2s, and I'm like, there's nothing I really like that balances out with Tapu Fini right now. There was one thing I was looking at, and I'm like, since I picked 2, I'm like, I can pick this Pokemon, and then I'll pick it back on the wheel because I had talked to the person who picked first, and they weren't going to pick it. Anyways, picked Jirachi for my 2nd pick. Couldn't believe it made it through. I believe we have, oh my goodness, we have a ton of coaches this season. I think we have 18 coaches this season. So it made it through 18 picks and then back through 16 picks. So I picked this, I believe, 34th or 35th overall. I don't know how it came that way. But we got Jirachi, which is a great Pokemon. Obviously, Serene Grace, Iron Head, Zen Headbutt. Those things can flinch. Heart Stamp as well, but I probably won't run Heart Stamp at all. But really nice. You can get flinches with that. You know, like, you can get special defense drops with moves like Psychic, stuff like that. It's a really good Pokemon. And I've never used Jirachi before. It also gets access to Stealth Rocks, which is pretty cool. In U-turn, which gives it momentum. But I've never used it before, and I really wanted to use it. And when I saw it was out there, I was like, it's good. You know, Fini checks some of its weaknesses, like its fire weakness. And if I can think of anything else, not off the top of my head, the dark weakness as well. And then Jirachi checks Fini's poison weakness, which is pretty cool, and the grass weakness. So I figured they kind of go together well. And Jirachi was something I was thinking about pairing with Bulu before the draft, but I knew I wasn't going to be able to get Bulu in round 2. So Jirachi was kind of like on my radar for a 1st round overall pick. And then when it made it to the 2nd round, I was like, there was no question about it. I was going to take it. Obviously gets some good good coverage, like you guys saw it right there. Get some grass coverage, energy ball, gets Draco Meteor even, which is kind of cool. I know there are some limitations of like what sets you can run because this is a mythical Pokemon, and certain moves can only come from those events. So I don't know, because we usually play on a custom game, if that's gonna matter at all. But I have no idea. Anyways, next Pokemon I picked, which I'm surprised it made it to the 3rd round as well. I know I was the 2nd person to pick, so this was like, you know, not that many picks into it. It was 38th overall. But Salamence is a great Pokemon in Draft League format. Gets up a Dragon Dance, can usually win a game if you're running Moxie. And obviously with Z moves now, it's one of the best Z move users besides maybe like Landorus. Salamence can win games on its own. And it's a great Pokemon. That Dragon typing is really cool because it, you know, it's super offensive against a lot of types. It doesn't have anything that resists it besides just Steel, I think. And obviously the immunity to Fairy. But anyways, I had 2 things that already checked its Ice weakness, the Jirachi and the Finny. And I figured I have the Finny is a switch into basically anything that wants to hit my Salamence because it's typing. And I was like, Salamence is a really good Pokemon along with this. The only problem is Misty Surge prevents my Dragon types, or like lowers my Dragon type moves. So I thought because Salamence was Dragon Flying, that because he was off the ground, that his attacks wouldn't matter. But it's only if your opponent's off the ground. So that kind of stinks. His Dragon types are weakened in Misty Terrain. So we're going to have to watch out for that. Be careful of that. But the Intimidate, Moxie, obviously 2 of the best abilities in the game. Dragon Dance potential. It also gets Defog Roost, stuff like that. If you want to run a defensive one, kind of like that Crobat set that we saw Heyyy use last season. You could use that as well, but it doesn't work as well as like a Crobat would or not, because that defense is 80. But anyways, Salamence is a great Pokemon. Base 100 speed, obviously 135 attack. Also gets access to Wish. Probably will never run a Wish set, but that's just something to point out. Next Pokemon we picked, obviously, Rotom Heat. Named it Hot Hands. I guess I didn't really go through the nicknames of my other ones. Oceana, Yahtzee, and Spyro. We named Rotom Heat Hot Hands, obviously. You can see why. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like Rotom Heat. I've used Rotom Heat before, but I've never used Rotom Wash, and I used Rotom Cut before. But I know the Rotoms are really good, and Rotom Heat is probably my favorite because I believe it was Moonlight Swami in the MPA use like Flame Orb Trick and stuff like that, and he just used it so well. And Rotom Heat's just been a Pokemon where I'm like, I need to use this thing. And yeah, I know Rotom Heat. I know what it does. It doesn't have the greatest coverage, but it's a great Pokemon. Will-O-Wisp Hex, stuff like that. Pain Split, obviously. Volt Switch, Overheat. So yeah, no great fire moves. Overheat's like the only thing that hits hard. But it's still a good Pokemon. And yeah, I really like Rotom Heat. Obviously, its stats are great. Wish I had a little bit of higher HP, but it's still really physically bulky, or especially bulky depending on how you want to make it. So really like that. Roserade was the next pick I wanted. I can't remember what it was. I think I wanted Shaman. Yeah, it was Shaman. And I didn't, because I did not want that poison typing. I just wanted a pure grass, and Shaman was still out there, and I was like, I want Shaman, and it got picked on the way back right before me. So I went with Roserade because although it does have that poison typing, Roserade is really nice. At this point, I don't think I don't have a Spike Setter or a Toxic Spike Setter, so it was really important for me to get that. And Roserade actually can be used in a variety of different ways. It gets really good coverage. You guys can see that gets Fairy coverage, gets Psychic coverage. It gets Leech Seed, stuff like that, which is really nice for recovery. Gets Synthesis for recovery as well. Technician is a great ability along with Natural Cure. And I guess Poison Point, I probably will never run that, but Natural Cure and Technician are really nice. You can run like a Rest Natural Cure set. You can run Hidden Power Technicians. You can even run like Swords Dance Bullet Seed. I know that's a set that I've seen before. So it's a great Pokemon. Roserade can be used in a lot of different ways. I named it Ivy. It's a shiny Roserade. I know Ivy's like a really basic nickname for it, but that's what I went with. Next Pokemon we picked was Solid Snake. I know Steelix is not a Pokemon I should pick in the 6th round, but Mega Steelix just got taken, and that was my plan, was to take Mega Steelix. And it just got taken. I think Heyyy picked it, actually, and I really wanted Mega Steelix. It got taken from me, so I went with regular Steelix because there's not too many Pokemon that have Steel Ground type, and I needed that on my team. Obviously, I need an Electric immunity right now because I don't really have the greatest Electric switch-ins because Roserade's not super bulky, and Rotom can take it, but, I wanted another one that could be immune to it, and that Steel to switch into poison type moves is good too. We have Jirachi, but I wanted another one, and I wanted a better reliable rocker because I don't want to have to run rocks on Jirachi all the time. So that's why I went with Steelix, super Fizz Def, and that was another thing I wanted, was a good physical wall to take nice hits for physical attacks. And yeah, it's obviously defensive. I know it's weak to ground, but it can take earthquakes, which is really nice. So solid snake right there, Steelix. I hope he puts in a lot of work this season. So then I was like, okay, I need a Mega. There's no good Megas left, to be honest. I mean, obviously every Mega is good, but I haven't played that much competitive Pokemon with Megas to know which is a good Mega or not, and especially what fit my team. And the one thing I needed was a Dark type. So I was looking at Sharpedo, I was looking at Mega Gyarados, and Sharpedo would have given me a lot of points, and I kind of needed a lot of points, but I know Mega Sharpedo is just not the greatest thing in the world, so I went with Mega Gyarados. We're going to name it Salazar, like Salazar's Slytherin. It's a really good Pokemon. Water Dark gives us a second Water type, which might not be the greatest thing, but it kind of gives us an offensive Water and a defensive Water, or like a bulky Water. So that's okay. It does pair well with a lot of my team. It's just, I wish Mega Gyarados just was more bulky. It does have good stats, you guys can see. Like, it is really bulky, but I don't know. I've used it well before in the past. I've used it in a different league, and that's why I went with it. It's just, it does one thing. It has the same set. You run Dragon Dance, Waterfall, Crunch, and then some other coverage, maybe like Earthquake or something like that. If it just had something better about it, if it just had like some other surprise factor that you could run with it, it would be amazing. But Gyarados is still good nonetheless. Next Pokemon we picked was Hariyama. I actually really like Hariyama. I think it's a good Pokemon, and before I drafted it, I was just thinking of something to take ice hits, and to take fire, because it was like something huge on my team that I couldn't take that, and I'm like, well, I need a thick fat Pokemon. Snorlax was just taken, and I wanted Piloswine, but obviously it's still weak to fire, so I didn't want to go with that. So I went with Hariyama, and getting that fire type, getting Fake Out, and also a bit of priority was really nice. And Hariyama just, it takes hits all day, and it can deal hits back. And that's the other thing, is all the other Pokemon that I was thinking about can't really deal damage back unless they have setup. Like Piloswine obviously is not going to do any damage, and Snorlax is kind of weak unless he gets up that belly drum. It can still do some damage, but that fighting type actually allows me to hit a lot of things that I couldn't hit before, dark types and steel types, stuff like that. And so I felt like Hariyama was really good, but at this point, you guys can see me developing some pretty common weaknesses. Flying weakness is one of them that you can primarily see on my team. I do have a lot of checks of flying types, but Psychic and Fighting are the main two that you can see. Like, almost everything on my team is weak to Psychic or Fighting, and it's going to continue. I didn't really realize that, but you can see next pick I have is Komala, weak to Fighting, and then you guys can see the next two picks, obviously Gengar and Rhydon, weak to Psychic and Fighting, respectively. I picked Komala as a Rapid Spinner. I actually don't like this Pokemon at all, but it was one of the only Rapid Spinners left, and I needed a Tier 4, so I went with Komala. I know it's really good because it's got that Comatose ability, but why would I pick Komala with a Comatose when I have Tapu Fini? Like, if I know something is going to go for Sleep Powder, I'm not going to go out into Komala and because I have Tapu Fini. So it doesn't really match with my team well, and I'm thinking about free agent trading this. At this point, I'm 4 weeks into the season. I'll let you know I did not trade this yet for free agent, but I'm really thinking about it. I need a better Rapid Spinner and something I can bring more reliably, because you guys can see I don't have a Rapid Spinner on my team. I have Defog on Fini and I have Defog on Salamence, and that's it. And I don't have a Rapid Spinner besides this Komala, so I need to pick up some other hazard removal, and I want it to be a Rapid Spinner, but there's nothing left out there. I think there's like maybe Avalugg or something like that, but yeah, Komala, not the greatest Rapid Spinner out there. It does get some good coverage, play rough and Woodhammer and stuff like that, so I just have to learn to use it. And that's the thing, when I'm using Pokemon I've never used before, it takes me a while to learn how to use them, and once I know how to use them, then I'm fine with them. But I'm just not comfortable with using Komala at the point right now. But we named him Daydream, obviously. He sleeps during the day. So next pick was Wazowski, our shiny Gengar right here. Can't even tell you shiny, but Gengar's great. I needed something above base 100 speed, just so you know, one, it tells people, or forces people to bring Scarfers against me, having that base 110 speed with Gengar, and also it forces or it allows me to outspeed a lot of those base 100s, because like 50% of Pokemon in Draft League are like base 100 speed, like even Miltank's base 100 speed, for crying out loud. So it allows me to have that speed tier above 100. I wish I could have gotten something above that. Like Crobat was already taken. I believe that there were still a couple of things out there that were faster than this, like Aerodactyl and stuff like that. But I had a ton of free points left because my free points were spent on Jirachi, Steelix, and Hariyama. So I had a lot of free points left because Hariyama and Steelix were both tier 5. I don't know why Hariyama was tier 5, but he was. And so it gave me 180 free points, and I spent it on Gengar because it was the only good tier 1 left. I believe it was like Gengar and Hippowdon and like 2 other things maybe that were left. So I went with Gengar because I felt like it was the best out of them. And it does give me another poison type, which I didn't want. I don't like that poison type in Draft League. It's helpful to have 1 to get rid of Toxic Spikes, but not 2. I just feel like offensive poison is great, but and so I have 2 offensive poison types, but I just feel like it gives me too much of a liability out there. I don't know. Poison types is just something I don't like in Pokemon. It just screams bringing the steel type, and most poison types don't have coverage for a steel type. Gengar does good Drain Punch, but obviously it's not going to do much damage with it. Anyways, moving on to our last pick. I picked Rhydon. I didn't want to pick Rhydon because, like, I have stayed away from Rhyperior in every draft league that I've done. It's a Pokemon that usually fits my team, and I'm like, no, it's got 4 times weakness to water, 4 times weakness to grass. It's not good. And I went with Rhydon over Rhyperior. In fact, they were both out there, and I went with Rhydon over Rhyperior because with that Eviolite, it can somewhat take hits decently. Obviously, it's very good because it can take hits and deal damage back like Steelix, but this Pokemon is basically Steelix, except it's a worse version of Steelix. So this was another one I'm thinking about free agent trading. But yeah, I picked Rhydon just because I needed another wall, but it does the same things as Steelix. It's basically weak to almost everything as Steelix, except it resists fire, and Steelix is weak to fire. But, like, gives me 4 times weaknesses to, like, Giga Drain, which is the main thing. Can't let things Giga Drain on me. But it does give me another rocker and stuff like that. So, this is my team. We got Tapu Fini, Jirachi, Salamence, Rotom Heat, Roserade, Steelix, Mega Gyarados, Hariyama, Kamala, Gengar, and Rhydon. So, UPL Season 2, hopefully we get off to a good start. A lot of people in the server are like, oh, watch out for Lucy, he just won, he's really good. And telling all the new coaches, because we have a bunch of new coaches this season, you know, Lucy's really good and really raises the expectations for me. Because last season, I was just an average coach. I was the middle of the ladder coach. And so a lot of people, I think, are giving me too much credit to start off the season. But I'll probably post the next 4 matches, like, pretty often, either every other day or every day, if I can get them all recorded tonight. So, hopefully you guys did all enjoy this draft analysis. I know it went a lot longer than what I expected to do it. But anyways, hopefully you guys did all enjoy. I'm out for now. Peace.